Workers stopped on Collins Street because of precast panel movement. Let's have a look. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Heiser Says. I wanted to talk about this article that's just appeared about precast column movement concerns stopping the construction of CBUS's 447 Collins Street project. And this is the Collins Street Arch. We can have a look at some of the more stunning images of the project there. So, it looks quite remarkable, and it will definitely be a memorable addition to the skyline. But what's concerning is that more precast panel issues, just like what we had on Opal, have raised their head. So let's read through this article, and this is from the Property Observer. So Multiplex has halted construction at CBUS's high-rise jewel, the 447 Collins Street project, after possible movement in precast structural columns on the half-built Twin Tower project. Which, okay, before everyone just goes crazy and starts freaking out, just think about the fact that they've halted the project, that they've identified a potential issue, and they're working to address it already. That the fact that we've got these systems in place, that they're stopping the project halfway through and taking care of it, or hopefully taking care of it, that's good. That's good, and that is encouraging. That's showing you that, okay, problems arise and we're finding, or we're made aware of it, not a year after or 4 months after the building's been occupied and it's cracking. So that's a positive spin on this. The concerns have triggered an urgent investigation by engineers at Collins Arch. The decision comes after the Sydney Opal Tower's issues with precast over Christmas New Year period. Yep. The exact nature of the pantscaper problem was not clear, according to the report by Nine Entertainment, with neither Multiplex nor its consultant engineers 4D Workshop giving more than limited details. A small number of minor column settlements have been identified on the 447 Collins Street project currently under construction, the company said. The builder, Multiplex, places the utmost importance on safety and quality and has already commenced a detailed investigation into the cause, with structural design engineers currently inspecting the columns. As a precaution, workers temporarily stopped while the investigation takes place. So, it looks like, well, when you're constructing a building, for those of you that aren't aware, it settles. And that, it compacts and settles down into place, and that should be engineered. It's taken into account of the rates, and it's designed to mitigate that and to have a tolerance that you can work with. But obviously there's some issues here, and people are going to be hypersensitive to these concerns in the media at the moment, particularly with high-rise construction in Australia the way it is, and just everything that's being brought to attention. Robert de Blasi, 4D Workshop director, assured Collins Street pedestrians that the building was safe. There's no issue with the structural integrity of the building, he told the Australian Financial Review. There are some minor issues with regard to precast columns. CBUS has boasted Melbourne's skyline will be transformed following the construction of the $1 billion luxury high-rise. And just remember, everyone, that is paid for by your super contributions to CBUS. As a small business owner, I have had to deal with CBUS from the side of a paying super, and they are horrific to deal with, honestly. Quite unfair with regards to small businesses. Called the Pantscape after its twin towers joined by a sky bridge, CBUS Properties' 42-story mixed-use development comprises 49,000 square meters of premium-grade office space, a 5-star W hotel, and 202 residential apartments. So it's nice. Designed collaboratively by Melbourne-based Woods Bagot and New York-based Shop Architects. The Pantscape will dominate the skyline given its unique silhouette. Well, I wouldn't call it that unique. There are a few other, shall we say, Pantscapes or arch buildings around. 3 major legal firms, including King & Wood, HLS, Elsbeth Lawyers, and Gardners, are committed to office space. So they've signed up a whole bunch of lawyers to it. Completion was anticipated for late 2019. I don't know if these delays will have much of an issue, if it's only small. The current design is the third after earlier plans for a 100-story tower and then a 47-story tower were rejected, in part because of the shadow they would have cast on the nearby Yarra River. Heritage groups have criticized the proposed park for being smaller than the 2,800 square meter plaza in front of the previously revered brutalist-style building on the site. Yeah. Above ground, the two towers meet at level 33. The possible fault of precast concrete on a $1.2 billion project in the heart of Melbourne CBD will ignite calls for reforms to Australian construction industry. Well, yes, we are hearing that more and more all the time. And I'm talking about it at least once a week. The state has yet to implement recommendations of last year's Sher-Gold-Weir Building Confidence Report. Now, I have read through that report, and I will put a link to that right now. A card should appear over my head, and we'll see how we go. So, guys, let's have a look at some pictures of the tower. So here you've got it here, in rising up. Looks quite good. It's beautiful, well designed. I'm not surprised that shop is involved with it. Here you go. You can imagine having your office in there. It'd be a prominent building in the city. It'll be known as the Pants Building, guaranteed. There you go. What do you think? Do you like it? Would you like to live there? That is a small plaza or garden. But then again, here is all public space. Up here, hopefully. And there, people can make use of it. And, yeah. You get a whole lot of balconies here facing the river with your views. It'd be nice. There's a little sky garden too at the back. But it's not the only one. There's some other ones. This is the Gate of the Orient, Juzal, and it's a pants building. Literally, it looks like a pair of pants. People have complained, and here's a little thing I'll just read. This is from a blog about it. It's just a big pair of pants, raged local bystanders, as the long legs of the Gate of the Orient were joined together with a majestic crotch on the skyline in the ancient city of Suzhou in 2012. Soaring 74 stories into the clouds, the office building has been declared the largest gateway into the world, and no doubt takes the title of the world's largest trouser-shaped building too. Designed by British practice RMJM, who should know better, the building has been declared humiliating by some locals who say walking through its giant gaping arch is like being forced to crawl between someone else's legs. So it's good to see that Melbourne is catching up to China with our pants-based architectural design. I mean, if we have a look, it's not as... Actually, yeah, from that perspective, maybe that's just my dirty mind seeing it all. What about, they need to have feminist rallies underneath the building there, or men's rights rallies underneath the building there. I think that'd be pretty funny. But let's have a look at another famous example. CCTV headquarters in Beijing. I mean, here you go. You've got another pants-style building. And, it creates more open space between the buildings. And it allows you to have apertures on either side of this building. If it was just a solid block, you'd get no light into the core, where this allows you to get light into the core of these buildings. And natural light, even indirect or coming through this space, is fantastic for people. Really important for people, just for avoiding sick building syndrome, for making it a healthier place to work and to live. So yeah, I can see that as a very smart idea. Architecturally and functionally, I can see it as a smart idea, opening it up on both sides to allow people to enjoy the space more than otherwise. While we can poke fun at it, whereas... Is this one here? Yeah, no, that's still it, but it's a lot higher too, so it's not gonna work as well, and it's a much wider gap. Where here, it's a bit more subtle insertion into the block, and it'll create a nicer space walking through. But yeah, I think it'll definitely add amenity just to the people in these parts of the building. But let's have a look at Beijing. I mean, here you go. I mean, this is just... While we're on the topic of undergarments, the headquarters of China's Central Television, designed by Dutch practice OMA, has drawn smutty sniggers and been nicknamed Big Boxer Shorts. Okay, so this isn't pants, this is boxer shorts. As well as likened to someone squatting above the city. Okay, so it's a menacing gateway modeling of New York Twin Towers bent double-ender, not in, well, there you go. So it is an interesting skyscraper there. So Melbourne isn't the only one. But, you know, the archways, or the Collins Arch, we'll call it, has stopped construction because of these precast column issues. It's good that I've identified it now. And I'll keep an eye on this building to see if anything else happens, if anything else comes up. Would this, let me know in the comments, would this reduce your confidence in buying the building? What do you think? Anyway, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Ding the bell to see my daily updates, and I will see you all again later. Have a great day. Bye.